Welcome back to another episode of the Sip Brothers podcast. I believe we're on episode 6 now. Today we're going to be hopping into the NCAA March Madness tournament. Today it's going to be me and Jake. We're going to fill out a bracket together and dive into the field. Jake, happy to have you back on the podcast.
Yeah, what's going on, boys? It's definitely been a little bit kind of a dry season since the Super Bowl, so it's good that we got that 1 month past. Us degenerates can finally have something to watch again, besides sweating out the players on a Monday morning.
Absolutely. All right. So can you see my screen here?
Yeah,
So yeah, thought we'd just go through the tournament. We got all the games here, and we'll go from there, I guess. Let me see if I can make my screen bigger real quick. Yeah, just stretch this out.
starting with what, the Auburn game?
Well, yeah, we're going to start with the Auburn game. Well, before we start this, when you're filling out your bracket, how do you fill it out? Do you do round by round or you do region by region?
Personally, what I like to do is I go round by round
Um,
throughout the bracket.
I'm the same way. And I go from south, then I go down to Florida,
Yep.
then I go back up to Duke. So that's how we'll
Mhm.
do it here. So I think we can move Auburn along in our bracket. No problems asked.
I think Ryan Williams would say otherwise.
Well, then the first game we're really going to discuss is going to be Louisville Creighton. Jake, I know you're a bit of a Big East fan with your Georgetown Hoyas, but from everything I saw one Louisville game, which was in the ACC tournament, and all I keep seeing on TikTok and Twitter is how Louisville's ranked like number 10 overall in Ken Palm.
Right. And when the AP poll came out, I think it was yesterday or today, and they showed the rankings, Louisville was like 13 on that list. So if you turn that into seeding, that's like a 4 seed.
Yeah,
And honestly, I'm going to say this before we even start. This bracket is probably one of the most like just misseeded, like misrepresented brackets I've ever seen in my life. That doesn't mean I'm not seeing the board well. I'm seeing it extremely well, honestly. But I'm just saying, like this bracket, like we'll get into it, but obviously you all know like UNC shouldn't have been in it. You got fucking West Virginia trying to sue the NCAA now. So I mean, it's just
yeah,
it's all just turning into a mess now.
yeah.
But
So
anyway, Louisville is supposed to be like a 3-4 seed. I mean, I really do want to take them, but something in my Big East head of mine, it's just gonna make me take Creighton. Ryan Kalbrenner, fucking beast, height too. Oh my God. But
all right, so you know what? It seems like we're at a bit of a disagreement here. So I'll take this one, and then you'll take the next disagreement.
okay, I'm good with Louisville taking them there.
All right, then we get into Michigan, UC San Diego. This is going to be a pretty popular upset pick here.
hmm
And
Not for me. Not for me though.
and you just said it. There's been a little bit of a misseeding here. Michigan was always going to be a 5 seed or even a 4 seed before the tournament, it felt like. And
And
they
they won the fucking Big Ten, and
they won the Big Ten tournament, and then it didn't help their seed at all.
yeah. Honestly, Michigan's a team I can really get behind. They're really good, well around. Shout out Castell, Danny Wolf, good player. I think Michigan's just a team that they're definitely. I don't think they're going to get upset in the first round.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. Then we
I
get
mean, they just put together a bunch of big wins against a bunch of good, Big Ten teams. So
absolutely. Then we get into the next game, A&M versus Yale. It just seems that every year an Ivy team picks one off, doesn't it?
and this year it's going to happen again, sir.
A&M's a good
Give
team.
me the Yale Bulldogs, sir.
A&M's a good team, but they play in the
I just think
SEC, so
Yale
they
Yale matches up with them pretty well.
yeah,
I mean, the Aggies, they've lost a bunch of guys all year due to injury and other things, but didn't really fare too well in the SEC tourney either. I was just in Nashville for that. Across the street, they were playing at Bridgestone.
so
But
you know what this sets up now. Danny Wolf transferred from Yale to Michigan, and then he would be playing his former team in Yale in the second round.
love it. Absolutely love it.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Ole Miss versus the winner of tonight's game, San Diego State UNC.
You see, this is just a game where I need to know who the winner of tonight's game is going to be first. But
Interesting, because I actually totally agree. Because if it's UNC, I think they beat Ole Miss.
I agree. And I think UNC, as much as they shouldn't have made this tournament, there is a good case for them in this tournament.
Jake, I really think it comes down to when it comes to March, and you know this more than anyone else. If you have a point guard that can create space and shoot the ball from deep, you have a chance. And that's exactly what RJ Davis is. He's been here before. This is what is this? His fourth or fifth tournament now? He knows
Yeah,
exactly
he's
what the
been there for a
stage is.
while. I mean, you remember, I know it was my freshman year when him and Caleb Love made that run from the 9 seed spot, I think it was.
Yeah. They're,
Almost should it be Kansas. They were up like 20 at half, I think it was.
yeah, you know what? I had a future on them that year, 80 to 1. And they were up, yeah, 15 at half. And I just got home from my intramural basketball championship. I turned the game on and I looked at the screen and I go, how the fuck did this team go up 15 points? Kansas closed that gap within the first 5 minutes of the half.
Yeah, and it's also not even RJ Davis. They got Trimble. They got a bunch of other guys who can help contribute. I mean,
Yeah.
I want to say I can see like a Carson Edwards run in or RJ Edwards and RJ Davis, but honestly, I can see it
Yeah. But you know what? All this said, they could lose tonight.
100%. But they're not losing to San Diego State. So if you
Yeah.
guys need to play tonight, if this pod's out by then, I would throw the credits on UNC minus 3.5.
Uh, all right. Next game. Any reason we should be looking at Lipscomb here?
Yeah, no, I'm in on Iowa State.
Yeah. I think pretty much we'll just be moving along every one, two, and three seed, but we don't know. We'll talk about the games. Marquette,
I don't
New
know if you want to
Mexico.
talk about, huh?
Marquette, New Mexico. Another one where I believe New Mexico might be the favorite in that game. I'm not sure. I think it's very
I
close.
think it's kind of like around an even, but Marquette struggles with
New
big.
Mexico plus 3.5.
Marquette struggles with the big man, and that's exactly what New Mexico has. They're 0-3 against Johns this year with their big man. With Cal Brenner, they're struggling against him. I just think Marquette's a team that doesn't really match up well defensively. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know too much on New Mexico though. So,
You know, Jake,
um,
I'm looking at this right here. Shows Marquette's notable results. They don't have one good win in the Big East.
and they'll listen to this.
Is that
Mar-
possible?
Marquette they're playing against Junior Joseph now. Guess who he started playing his career for?
Who?
Rick Pitino. 0-3 against Johns this year.
Give me New Mexico. Then we'll move along Michigan State.
I'm not gonna lie, I would hold your horn just a little bit on that game, sir.
You think the Bryant Bulldogs got a shot?
I mean, I don't think they have a shot. I just think this game is going to be a lot more closer than what people think. I don't think Michigan State's going to blow them out. Bryant's a big physical team. I mean, my degenerate ass, our dad goes there, so I honestly watched them
Went
a couple
there.
or went there. Um, I actually watched them a couple games, even bet on them one game. But they're big, they're physical, and they're a
Yeah.
gritty ass team. That's the thing that you'll see. Like a lot of these 14, 15 seeds, 15, 16 seeds, like these guys, they don't really have any chance, but you gotta show some fucking grit. You gotta lay it out there. And if you got a fucking shot, it's March. Anything can happen, as John Rothstein would say.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on. We'll move along Florida. Then we'll get into national defending champs, UConn, taking on the Sooners. And it seems like everyone and their mother is kind of picking UConn in this game, which makes me want to pick Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride the public in this game. I just think Dan Hurley, two-time champ. Not even that, he's just a two-time champ. They have a good team too. Solo Ball, Caravan. Um,
Yeah,
they just got I mean, it's just UConn. They've been slipping apart in the Big East the second half of the year. So
fair enough.
kind of just like you said with UNC, you put together one good stretch. You win a few games,
Yeah,
and next thing you know, you're in the Elite Eight, you
yeah.
know?
All right, well, I'll give you that close call. We'll move along UConn. Then we'll get into Memphis, Colorado State. I know for a fact Colorado State's the favorite in this game.
Yeah, this is another one where you kind of wonder how Memphis got a 5 seed, but Colorado State, they're coming off 10 straight wins, very hot. I do like Colorado State in this game as
Me
myself.
as well. Then we'll move in. We have the Crab Five taking on Grand Canyon. Seems like Grand Canyon gets into the tournament a decent amount now, and it seems like they don't awfully do much.
Yeah, honestly, defensively, Grand Canyon is a nightmare for Maryland, but still, I'm gonna give me the Terps. Um,
Yeah, we're on
I
the
think
same
the
page there.
Terps get it done. Maryland's got good depth, so
Now we have Will Castells, Drake taking on Missouri at the SEC. And I like Drake here. I think that they're poised for a run. We kind of thought it was going to happen last year and it didn't. And I think it happens this year.
I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the hardest games on the bracket for me in the first round, Missouri against Drake. Um, Drake's got this guy Sturks. I don't know if you've watched any of his games, but he's a great player.
Yeah, he's John Rothstein's player to watch in the tournament.
Yeah, but at the same time, the SEC was just an animal this year, and Missouri's been playing a bunch of fucking dogs. So when you like think about that, I think the SEC had what, 12 teams?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, which is insane. I mean, I don't know. I do like Missouri in this game, but I can see Drake winning, definitely.
All right, so we'll go my close call. We'll go Drake. Texas Tech, UNCW. Let's move along Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Kansas, Arkansas. Battle of the coaches. Bill Self taking on John Calipari.
Give me
And
Kansas.
you like Kansas. You think Dickinson last year maybe wins a couple games?
A couple.
Oh, little foreshadowing there. All right, we'll move along Kansas. In my bracket, I'm gonna have Arkansas winning that game now. Move along St. John's. Let's go back up to
Omaha's the best 15 seed in the bracket though. Johns will win, but
move.
Omaha deserves. Omaha should have got like a 14 seed.
Okay, Mississippi State, Baylor. Jake, what do you have here? And personally, in my bracket, I have Baylor moving along.
Yeah, sorry, my roommate just walked in, got kind of rattled. But give me Baylor. Just from my 2021 run, man. Jared Butler and the boys.
Yeah, there's
No,
something
but
there, though.
I do think Baylor's a better team in this matchup though.
Yeah, so we'll take Baylor there. Oregon, Liberty. Any 5-12 upset there for you, Jake?
Nah.
I agree. I'm chalk here too. I'm also chalk in the next game. I know a lot of people are high on the Zips, but again, I'm a sucker for those guards that can light it up. But just like how Caleb Love can light it up, he could certainly shoot you out of a game.
I
So
was gonna say Caleb loves shitting you out of games though. Oh my God.
yeah, I mean Caleb Love's
Uh,
good.
this tournament for
If Caleb Love goes 14 for 20 from the field, you're probably going to win.
this tournament for Arizona will go as far as Caleb Love takes them.
Agreed. And I think he takes them past Akron.
And you think Oregon beats them from there?
We'll see. That's next round. BYU, VCU. A lot of people like VCU.
Yeah, I do like VCU too. I just think they're a really good defensively sound team, but bring a lot of pressure. Um, BYU got fucking Houston's one of the better Big 12 defense teams, and BYU got dismantled by them twice this year. So it just seems like defensively they kind of just not good.
Yeah, not good, but they shoot the three very well. So
Yeah, they do, definitely.
take that for what it is. So are we taking VCU here?
I like VCU, but
All
could be
right.
the white boys of BYU. So
All right. So let's take VCU. Moving along, Wisconsin. Vandy versus St. Mary's. This is the most picked upset of the tournament so far. Everyone's picking Vandy over St. Mary's, and I'm with them. SEC dominates.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sam Mary looked pretty miserable in that game against Gonzaga the other night. I don't know if you watched it, but yeah, I'll go Vandy too.
Moving along, Bama, Houston, Gonzaga, Georgia. Another team that's what, number 7 on the Ken Palm on the AP poll?
Gonzaga is going to be a scary team in this tournament.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. They're that high, and you have to move them along one
There's
game.
a lot of 8, 9 seeds that I like winning in the second round against one seed, or could see winning.
Interesting.
These
But,
one seeds, these one seeds are going to have some tough matchups in the second round,
you know,
especially those 2 1 seeds I'm looking at right there, Florida and fucking Houston.
Jake, this is outside the point, but I was kind of thinking about something the other day. Would you rather be a 3 seed than a 1 seed? Because look at Texas Tech. They're playing UNCW and then they have to play Missouri or Drake instead of UConn or Oklahoma.
I mean, it's just how it ends up,
I
like you
know it's
kind
just how it ends up. It's how the bracket works. You obviously want to be a one seed. It's a bye week practically. They never lose.
of.
But still, like, I don't know. In some of these areas, it just feels like you'll have an easier time as a two seed or a three seed.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, it just depends on the draw. Some guys obviously get way more lucky than others, but
But still, Louisville, UConn, Gonzaga, those are tough draws for three of our four one seeds.
oh yeah, 100%.
All right, so Clemson,
What's the other
McNeese.
one? Baylor, yeah, that's the one that I would say they're safe.
Yeah, I agree. Duke's gonna roll them. Clemson, McNeese. Any love for a 5-12 here upset?
What game are we on? Sorry.
Clemson, McNeese.
Yeah, honestly, I do like McNeese in this one.
Really?
I just don't think Clemson, they're kind of weird lately. Wiggins hasn't been playing good. Fucking, I just don't know. I just think they got a good pick and roll combo off Clemson D. Um,
I just feel like Clemson has a bit more pedigree. Like they've been in the tournament, they know how this works.
that was last year, man.
Yeah, but they got a lot of returning pieces.
I just think McNeese with that spark, the athletic director, just everything going on there. It's gonna click.
You really think so?
Yep.
I don't know. I'm kind of on a different page with you here, but let's roll McNeese.
You can take Clemson, but because Purdue's gonna knock them all either team off next round anyway. So
Interesting you say that because we're on opposite pages. I would have had Clemson going against High Point.
I think the biggest blowout in round one is gonna be this game. Purdue against High Point.
Wow. Wow. Let's move along Purdue. If you're that confident, we'll move along Purdue.
I
Illinois
just
versus
think High Point's got a 7 foot center, and I just think the only way they're gonna win is if he plays his fucking lights out. High Point does not match up well with Purdue at all. I think Purdue's gonna be giving them fits back and forth offensively and defensively, but I just don't think it's too big of a mismatch in my opinion for that.
Yeah, it's fair. Let's move along. Illinois versus the winner of Texas and Xavier, who plays tomorrow night. Who do you like in this game, Jake? For me, this is another wait and see because
Agreed.
I think if Texas,
Honestly, I'm leaning both 11 seeds, either one.
I'm right there with it because I think if Texas wins, Trey Johnson, he could take this team on a bit of a run, just like how RJ Davis can.
Right. Illinois is a good team. I mean, who knows? But
Move along, Kentucky, UCLA, Utah State. How do you lean,
Kentucky, you want to move on with Kentucky, huh? What
Jake?
you know about the Sun Belt Conference?
Jake, child, please. Come on now.
I give me Kentucky, but I think that game is going to be a lot more closer than what people
What's
think.
the spread on this game? 10.5. That's it.
I told you, dude. Troy's a good done. I'm a Sun Belt believer. Look, you see the flag? Yeah, Coastal Carolina. I'm a Sun Belt believer. I know the Sun Belt. I study the Sun Belt. Troy covers 10.5.
Look at these wins for Kentucky, though. A lot of good wins.
Look
Duke,
at Troy. Let's see Troy's wins.
Gonzaga. You want to see Troy's wins? It's going to be Coastal Carolina, JMU. Loss, 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 loss. And then it's a bunch of Sun Belt wins. They
There's
have
some good wins.
good wins.
Dude, they
Arkansas
lost
State
they lost to Houston by 20. That's not bad. On the road.
lost to Oregon by 20.
Fuck it. Take Kentucky. I like Troy though.
All right. UCLA, Utah State.
Uh,
I'm just taking Big Ten as a better conference here.
UCLA, but that's a game I can easily say going both
Move
ways.
along Tennessee. Then we go back up to our top. Auburn, Louisville. And think I think Louisville gives them a hard time, but I still think Auburn wins this game. I just think
Yeah, I
I think
mean,
Auburn's a little more battle tested still.
yeah, I would give it to Auburn in that game, but like you said, I think that would be a good one.
Michigan, Yale. Are we sending Michigan to the Sweet 16?
Child, please.
Really?
There's always that one funky Ivy School team, and this year it's going to be the Yale Bulldogs.
All right, we'll send along the 13 seed. It happens every
Danny
year.
Wolf against Danny Wolf and his former team. They're going home.
Iowa State versus UNC or San Diego State. The Tar Heels keep up this magic run if they win?
I don't know. I think Iowa State might be a little bit too much for them.
I kind of agree with you. Then New Mexico, Michigan State to finish this region.
January, February, Izzo.
Enough said. Keep it moving. Florida, UConn. You hinted towards it. Florida's the hottest team in the country, though.
You know what happens to hot streaks, especially when a team wins a conference tournament, especially. It makes me not like them a little bit more.
You know who was really hot and won their conference tournament last year? The champions.
Yeah, Dan Hurley and the boys.
I'm
Give me,
overriding. We're going
give me
Florida.
UConn. Give me UConn.
Sorry, Florida it
All
is.
right, wait, let me ask you this real quick. If that was the matchup right there, you tell me what's the spread in that game.
Florida by 7 or 8. What?
After seeing UConn beat Oklahoma by 30 in the first round, you're going to say the spread's going to be 7.
UConn's not beating Oklahoma by 30, dude.
Dylan, look at Oklahoma had a great start to the year. Look at their fucking record in the Big 12, dude.
What are they limping in? Yeah, it's not good.
It's terrible. It's
Oh,
legit
I'm
terrible.
not disagreeing with you. I think
Honestly, it's dog water, honestly.
UConn wins the game, but I think Florida's too much.
They win 2 games, but we'll continue.
Colorado State, Maryland.
Give me the Terps.
All right, I'll let you have that one. In my bracket, I'm going to have Colorado State moving on, though.
Maryland's just two. Maryland's not losing to fucking Colorado State.
Drake, Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, they should have been a 2 seed.
Agreed. Kansas, St. John's. I actually think that Kansas gives the Johnnies a bit of a problem if this is the matchup here.
I 100% agree. I think Kansas gets it done against the Johnnies in the second round.
I'm right there with you.
I just think the Johnnies, I mean, they had a great year. They're a great team defensively, but I just haven't seen enough from them offensively. You can stop a team, but that doesn't mean you can guard someone, you know? And Dickinson, oh man, he's another animal, bro.
Agreed. And St. John's plays this way of basketball where it's a lot of offensive rebounds and it's a lot of two-pointers and free throws. And in March, that leads to a lot of close games.
hmm If Kansas shoots the ball well, I think they'll definitely beat Johns.
Yeah. So Duke Baylor, I think we both agreed Duke's going to be too
Yeah.
much for them here.
Yep.
Oregon, Arizona, kind of a game it seems like we're going to be on different sides of here.
Yeah, I like the Wildcats here, definitely.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
just think offensively, they're a lot. They're a good team offensively. I know offense, not just offense wins championships, but
Yeah.
uh,
I know Houston didn't have their whole team, but watching Arizona go punch for punch with them in that conference championship game was encouraging to see.
100%.
Yeah. So, we can roll Arizona. VCU, Wisco.
I like VCU in this game.
Yeah, I have BYU in my bracket beating Wisco, so I have no problem moving along VCU.
I just think Wisco, they're a good team. They're just like, I don't know. And VCU, I watched their last 2 games. I think they're just one of those gritty teams who can go out there and why not you, you know?
Yeah. Vandy, Alabama. I like Bama here. The offense is too much. They run them up and down the court.
Agreed. Bama. Mark Sears, that guy.
Mark Sears. That's talk about a guard in March. Who's been there before? Who's gonna hit a big shot?
He'll
Houston,
hit a big shot.
Gonzaga.
He'll hit a big shot for you.
Houston, Gonzaga. I like the Zags here.
I 100% agree, though. 100%. No problem taking the Zags here at
I
all.
know, Jake, is it every year that someone's going to tell me Houston's different? Every year I have to hear the same thing every March. Kelvin Sampson,
Kelvin Sampson's a fraud. He's a fucking fraud.
no, this is a different Houston team. Oh, and guess what? People are going to watch this, and guess what? They're going to text me, Dylan. It actually is a different Houston team. It never is. Maybe they win one more game or two more games. This team's not winning a championship, so I have no problem knocking them out right here.
I agree. I think if they don't lose this round, they're losing next round. I just don't think Houston's a team that can put together, what is it, 7 wins in a row?
Yeah,
6 wins in a row, I
six,
think.
six, yeah.
Yeah.
So we have McNeese, Purdue. It seems like you like Purdue a lot, Jake.
Give me the Boilermakers.
You know, Does this have anything to do with Carson Edwards still, or
No, it actually doesn't. I'm a big Braden Smith guy, big Braden Smith believer. I do think if Clemson wins that game, I actually do have McNeese, but I do think if Clemson wins that game, they're going to give him way bigger fits. But I think if McNeese wins, then Purdue's just going to slide past them.
okay? Texas slash Xavier versus Kentucky.
It depends. I'm
Yeah,
probably leaning Kentucky, but it really
I like
depends.
Kentucky a lot, but I always like Kentucky. It feels like.
Uh, put Kentucky.
Then UCLA, Tennessee. Ziegler gets it done here.
Yeah, I'm good with Tennessee.
All right. So let's go through our bracket and recap our seeds. 113, 3-2, 1-4, 3-7, 1-4, 11-2, 8-4, 3-2. So don't call us chalk here. There's no chalk going on here.
Yeah, the opposite of that, honestly.
Yeah. This we might be losing our minds a little bit here. Auburn, Yale. Yeah, Auburn's too physical if this is the matchup.
This is when the Cinderella story comes to an end.
Yeah, it seems like this is where it ends. You have the whole week to go back to school before the Sweet 16, and it's over.
You got all the nerds talking to you, everyone all hype, and that's
Yeah.
when Auburn comes in and slaps you in the ass and says,
Yep.
you're gone.
Iowa State, Michigan State. You said Izzo, but I don't know. I watched this Michigan. The most Michigan State I watched this year was in the Big Ten tournament, and I wasn't thrilled by what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, I could see this game going either way. I would lean Michigan State, but I mean, you kind of just might want to take the better conference here in the Big 12. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
the Big
close. I
Ten
mean, it's really
sucks.
a
Big
toss-up.
Ten sucks. You got sorry teams like fucking Rutgers losing in double overtime to fucking USA.
Let's see. Michigan State notable results. Yeah, I mean, they have a couple wins, win over Purdue, win over Maryland, win over Wisconsin. Iowa State lost to Alabama, beat Marquette, beat Baylor, beat Kansas, lost to Arizona. Yeah, it's
Give me
just
is.
yeah, give me Izzo.
This is one of those games where experience is gonna get you.
Yeah, Florida, Maryland. I know you have Florida losing, but if this was the matchup in Florida versus Maryland, who do you got?
Well, I got UConn in my Final Four, so
I'm going to take the Gators here. It seems like,
I'll let you pick this game. If those were the two teams, I would pick the Terps though. But I have UConn in my Final Four. I'm
yeah.
just not a Florida believer. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Florida believer at all.
Then Kansas, Texas Tech. I like this Texas Tech team a lot.
I do too. Doesn't it kind of remind you of that team with Jarrett Culver a little bit?
It really, Jake, I thought that before the bracket was revealed, and then they put them in the exact same
And
spot in the bracket.
and Matt Mooney.
Yeah. And that team should have won the championship too.
They lost. Who'd they lose to?
They lost to not Baylor.
Yeah, that was the year. It was the year before or after.
Who'd they lose to?
Did they lose in the championship or Final Four?
Championship game, they lost.
Maybe it was Kansas. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, look it up real quick. I remember I was at Ben Stickles' house watching the game because if Texas Tech won, I would have won the whole bracket. But Chris Mascherelli won instead. I forget who he had. Do you look it up? What are you doing over there?
Hold on.
It's way too long of a hold, dude. Just write in
Yeah,
Texas.
I gotta find the year.
Just write in Texas Tech NCAA championship game.
They lost to Virginia, didn't they?
Oh yeah, that was the Edwards year, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
2019. Yep, the year before I won actually.
All right.
When
So
fucking who's that fat Kyle guy? Yeah.
yeah, Duke, Arizona. I know you're high on Duke, but man, I love the Wildcats here.
Yeah, Duke top four in Ken Palm in offense and defense. That's a crazy stat in my opinion. But give me Cooper Flag and the boys as long as he stays healthy.
Bama, VCU. This is where their run ends as well.
Yep.
Agreed. Gonzaga, Purdue. I think Gonzaga gets this far. I think they win that game.
I agree. I like the Zags here.
Kentucky, Tennessee. This game could
Give me
go
ten.
either way.
Give me Tennessee.
I like Kentucky here, I think.
You can jump on them.
We'll go Tennessee though. We'll go Tennessee though. All right, it's a little more chalky from us there. We have two 1-2s and a 1-3 and an 8-2. Auburn, Michigan State.
I mean, after the Sweet 16, it's easy to go chalk. You're not going to take a fucking 12 seed to go to the Final Four
Right, especially when they're playing a fucking two seed
or a one seed.
or a
Yeah,
one
exactly.
one seed. Yeah,
So it's like it's easy to pick upsets in the first two rounds, but after that, it's kind of when you got to come to reality with yourself and be realistic. Like you're not trying to make a bracket that just has all these crazy upsets because you feel like there's going to be so many upsets. You want to do what you think is right to do.
right. All right, Auburn, Michigan State. What do you got?
This is a good game.
I think if this is the matchup, I would take Michigan State.
I think the same thing.
I think Auburn limping into this tournament a little, losing three of four, going against Izzo. I think I don't know when Auburn goes out is the problem, but I don't think they win this tournament.
I agree. I just think they're kind of falling apart right now at the wrong time.
Florida, Texas Tech. Seems like we're both pretty high on Texas Tech.
I'll keep that going. Yep.
Yep, let's keep that rolling. Duke, Bama.
This sucks for me because if they were on the two opposite sides of the brackets, this would be my championship.
Yeah, I think this Alabama team, it depends on Grant Nelson's health, but I think this Alabama team's poised. It's hard to say they're poised for a run because they did it last year.
Yeah, but you want to know what sucks? Bama's offense is so good, but when you got to go against the third ranked Ken Palm team in the NCAA, it's going to be too much for you.
Jake,
Give me the give me the Blue Devils.
ankle injuries, they linger. They linger, dude.
Yeah, Cooper Flag and you're not the same person, bro.
Dude, I don't care if we're not the same person. The guy left the game in a wheelchair. For me to say it'll linger, it's true. He's not going to be at 100%.
I think as the tournament goes on, it's going to be getting better and better. And when you got to play a fucking 16 seed in the first round, you'll be fine.
All right, we'll take Duke. I don't love it.
Think about it, Dylan. Duke still won. I know the ACC is not really that good of a conference, but Flag didn't play half of the tournament. They still ran through it.
Yeah, but they're not that good of a conference. You just said it.
Yeah, but they
Like
still
if
beat.
Alabama played in the SEC tournament, they would not win. They wouldn't even get to the fucking championship game without Flag.
You're saying Duke, you mean?
Yes.
I disagree, but
All right, let's move on. Gonzaga, Tennessee. Feel like we haven't the Zags going this far. What's one more?
I agree. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like Tennessee in the Final Four either. It just
I
looks
don't like
ugly.
Tennessee either. I wasn't impressed. I mean, they made it to the championship game, but I don't know. I just wasn't crazy impressed. So it looks like we have a unorthodox Final Four here because we're putting our brains together. So it's not exactly. I know you have Duke and UConn in the Final Four. I'm gonna
My
have the
final four, I'm pretty sure it's uh Duke, UConn. I forgot the other two.
Duke, UConn, Florida, Maryland, St. John's. Are you Johnny's?
No, I have UConn on that side.
Oh,
All right, let's just do ours though. If these were the two matchups, I would probably have Michigan State and Duke.
I would probably. I think we can agree with Duke going to the championship game. I think Texas Tech beats Michigan State here.
I think Texas Tech is going to be a really good team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have a couple bad losses to
Is that a
Arizona.
Houston on the road win? I say it too.
Yeah, Houston on the road win by one.
Two losses to Arizona.
Losses to Arizona scare me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's also the
You know
Big
what?
12.
Arizona's a team that goes up and down the court really fast, and we don't really have them playing that team. Kansas isn't going to go up and down the court super fast. You know, Drake's not gonna. Florida's going to try to, because I like Florida in that game. And Michigan State's not going to go up and down the court like an Alabama would be doing.
You're right. Yeah.
And the teams they lost to were Arizona. And well, Houston gave them some fits, but Houston's great. So Texas Tech Duke would be our final. And I think if this is the final, I do think that,
It's the Blue Devils that get it done.
yeah. I mean, you kind of overthrown me a little bit there in that bracket. How many points are scored? Probably about 155.
Okay, they won 54 in mine, yeah.
Um, but
I
yeah,
wouldn't say I didn't overthrow you, dude. That was pretty even.
well, I would have taken Bama over Duke for sure.
Okay, well, if this was overthrown, I would have had UConn in the Final Four.
Yeah, fair enough. That's why it's a combination of both. You had Texas Tech, I
Exactly.
had Duke.
So, like as Dylan just said, like don't be coming at me like this is a horrible Final Four because this is a collective bracket. We're giving the viewers, we're trying to give you guys insights.
Yeah,
So,
trying to give you an idea of what you might see come Thursday and Friday and what you might see tonight.
yep. Got the play-in games tonight too. So tonight and
Yeah,
tomorrow.
absolutely. It starts out at, I think it already started actually while we were
20,
filming.
20, 20 minutes,
All
6:40.
right. Yeah, 6:40. We're going to get the 16 seeds. And after that, we will get the UNC San Diego State game out of Dayton. Let's stop my
Yep.
share.
For you viewers running my bracket pool, hit
Yeah.
me up if you want to join.
Yeah. Plug the bracket pool. You text Jake 973-309-2759. $25 entry. And yeah, Jake, one more time, tell the people who's your champion.
My champion is sadly the Duke Blue Devils get it done this year.
Yeah. I'm still
And
torn.
Ben Stickle, before you tell me that's the most chalk thing ever, go fuck yourself.
I'm still torn for my champ, but it's going to be either the Florida Gators or the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Now let me ask you this. I don't want you to pull up the bracket again or anything,
Yeah, we have
but
2 minutes left here, so make it quick.
okay, but say you were in a survivor pool, what's a team that you would look at on day one or day two and say that that's a team that I should take?
Michigan, I think you get 5 points for picking that seed.
I like UConn.
Yeah. I hate to pick an 8-9 game, but if you have like 4 or 5 picks or like 3 picks even, I think you
And
could.
maybe taking Gonzaga in one of them too. It's not
Oh,
bad.
yes. Definitely picking Gonzaga in mine.
Yeah. Sorry, Abby. Georgia's chalk though.
Yeah. Georgia's chalk. Well, this is March.
Yep. All right. Good time. We'll probably have another one, Sweet 16, I bet, right?
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. We sleep in May. Till next time.
Yep.